somehow the facts of what happened today in Cumbria do nothing to answer the most troubling question, why it happened. How one man becomes so deranged that he takes a gun and shoots total strangers at random. In the space of just over 3 hours, a taxi driver kills 12 people and wounds a further 25. These events are very, very rare in Britain, much, much rarer than in many other countries. But that, of course, makes them all the more shocking. Our reporter Peter Marshall reports now from Boot, where Derek Bird eventually killed himself.
In the peace of the evening, the police tape, the cordoned-off crime scene are incongruous. But then nothing about this day seems to fit. The nice guy who became a killer, the innocent victims, nothing. The landlord of this pub outside Boot was one of the last to be shot.
Well, just how serious we think it's not life-threatening anyway.
Derek Bird was, according to those who knew him, a quiet, straightforward chap. We spoke to friends who'd been drinking with him only days ago. They said there was nothing at all untoward.
And Peter Marshall joins us live now. Peter, what's the latest on those injured this evening?
Well, the latest is there are now 13 confirmed dead, 25 wounded, 5 of them seriously, 3 of them we believe critically. Among those shot by Derek Reed was by Derek Bird was one Don Reed, another taxi driver. He wasn't Derek Bird was living in Rowra and had lived there for some years. That's some 8 miles outside Whitehaven. We know he was divorced with 2 grown-up sons. There are all sorts of stories around. There's one story appearing in the newspapers tomorrow suggesting that he's had a family row over a will. The police will no doubt be looking into that and everything else that's been rumoured and spoken about Derek Bird today. In Rowra, we know that a lot of people do, or a number of people do have guns because shooting is a sport, and they'll look at the licensing of those weapons and when Derek Bird had permission to have those weapons and what type of weapons he had permission to hold, because as we heard in the film, one of the guns he had seemed to be worked for far more than just ordinary sport. And we now know that Derek Bird died some miles away in a field behind me here in Boot, and the coroner removed his body from here just half an hour ago.
Peter, well, thank you very much.